Hey everyone, welcome back. I am the Electrical Code Coach, and this is the Estimating Masterclass. In this 6-part video series, we're going to give you the fundamentals and the mindset so you can start your path of becoming a pro estimator. Estimating is fundamental in all businesses. Whether you own a coffee shop and you're estimating how much coffee to buy for that month, or you own a plumbing contracting company and you're trying to estimate how long it's going to take and how much the materials are going to cost to do a project. We're going to look at this estimating series through the eyes of an electrical contracting company. But I'm telling you, the fundamentals and the mindset we're going to teach you transcend all businesses. This is going to be a 6-part series, and this is video 1. We're going to be dropping one video each Saturday from the starting date of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you ever need anything, you can always email me at electricalcodecoach@gmail.com. Let's get to it. All right, y'all, let's go. This estimating masterclass started out as an in-person class, and it started off as something small and ended up being something really big. It's something that I'm just grateful that I got to be a part of. And now we want to take it on video series for you. In person, I would ask them their name, whether or not they owned a business, what they were calling that company if they hadn't named it yet, or what the name of the company was. I don't want you to put that in the comments below, but before we go any farther, I do want you to answer these questions. Whether or not you work for yourself for how long, whether you're in residential, commercial, or industrial, or all of them. And also if you're in another type business, whether we had a dentist take this class, we've had, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Let us know what industry you're in. And then this one is the most important. I want you to put your current largest hurdle in business, whether it's time management, project management, estimating, software, everything in between. And the reason I want you to answer these questions in the comments is because we're going to change our mindset in this video series. From everybody's our competition to everybody is a competitor with us. The only one that is your competition is you. You're performing against your previous self, your previous time management skills, your previous interpersonal skills. You're not competing against everybody else. And this is why, because you can only control yourself. You can't control the market. You can't control the inspectors. You can't control your competitors. The only person that you can control is you. There's only 2 ways in life that you can grow beyond where you're at right now. One of them is to get around someone who's performing on a higher level in an area that you want to grow in, whether that's business, spiritual, fitness, whatever it is. And the other way is to push yourself past what you know you're capable of. And then when you settle back down past that push point, you'll be a little farther ahead. So in this estimating series, I want you to start having the mindset that everyone around you is not your enemy, dog eat dog trying to take your food. Although I do want you to compete. I love competing. But listen, you're competing against yourself. I want you to think about everybody else as potentially dangerous, right? I want you to think about everybody else as a potential asset. And also, I want you to start thinking, and I know this one's going to be totally counter business cultural. I want you to start thinking about everyone as an opportunity to serve them and perhaps invest in them. Because what you'll find is that when you start thinking like that, other people will come into your life that start thinking that way about you. You may not know everything about your industry, every subset, every piece. Especially when you get into an electrical setting, you don't know everything. I don't know everything because there are so many variables and so many twilight zone troubleshooting situations that you want to have people around your life who are more experienced in these different subsets that you can call or text. And the only way that you're really going to get through to them is first by not positioning yourself as a threat in business, and second, making yourself available as an asset to the industry. So I want you to drop this down in the comments below. And a couple things that you're going to learn is that, especially with that bottom question, is that everyone's fighting the same fight. Everyone's dealing with the same problems. Your problems are not unique. They might be unique to your industry or unique because of your industry, but we're all dealing with the same issues. Time management, dealing with people. How do you deal with angry customers? So I want us to learn and to grow together. And this is the day where you pivot in your business. You can look back on today when you pivot in your business and you start thinking about everyone around you as a potential asset. There are those who are dangerous, and you need to distance yourself from them. And I've taught you about that in our inner circle video. on previous videos in this channel, but I want you to do that today. Take that first step, drop down in the comments below, and when you're down in the comments, take a minute and look around and see what others have said so we can start connecting and growing together. All right, y'all, enough with introductions. Let's get down to business. Now, before we move on, we've got to settle 3 things. And if you're not settled by the end of this part right here, I want you to stop, pause the video, and get settled. Because you'll never grow past where you are. You'll never establish any type of dominance as a pro in your area or as an asset in your area until you settle the next 3 things. Are you going to be the cheapest or the best? Because you can't be both. You can't simultaneously be the cheapest in town and be the best. I'll have electrical contractors call me for advice or code assistance, whatever it is, and they'll say a phrase that tells me everything I need to know about their business. Perry, I feel like I'm running my business like a chicken running around with its head cut off. If you've never heard that phrase, what somebody's telling you when they say that is they're living life and running their business in such a way that they feel so chaotic, like after you cut a chicken's head off, it'll run around for a few minutes. That's how they feel in running their business. If you've ever said that or you're there now, first off, cut that out of your vocabulary completely. And second off, I want you to turn this video off, turn the cell phone off, and I want you to recalibrate yourself before you get started again. You calm yourself, whatever it is. If you feel like you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off, you need to stop, recalibrate, turn the phone off is the biggest thing, and recenter yourself before you pick back up, because we ain't going to do that anymore. The cheapest in town is like eating a soup with a fork. When you eat soup with a fork, you're very busy, right? Because you pick up that fork and most of it falls back down in the bowl. That's what being the cheapest in town is like. You're eating, but you're never getting full. They'll brag too. They'll be like, oh, I've got 3 months worth of work already booked. Well, that sounds great, but I guarantee you that in 1 month, I'm making what you make in 3 months because you're running around doing a bunch of work, but you're not making any money. I decided early on in business that I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best, not at the hurt of others, but at the benefit of others. And what being the best looks like to everybody is different. I think some things like this are, I'm on my hands and knees wiping off my footprints as I leave a person's house. I'm going back around to my face plates and I'm straightening them. You wouldn't believe how many people complain about the electrician not straightening the faceplate. You've done all that work, you've wired it, it's technically excellent, and you don't take the time to straighten the faceplate on a switch before you leave it. Take it, wipe it down, straighten it. Show the customer that you're caring for them on that level. And what that allows you to do is to charge a premium price. But I warn you right here, a little caveat, if you're going to charge a premium price, you need to deliver a super premium level of service. You can demand that price, but you need to deliver a super premium level of service. The second thing that we're going to settle right now is whether or not we're going to continue playing checkers or if we're going to start playing chess. I submit to you that most of the people around you in business are playing checkers. They're playing checkers. They're only worried about the move in front of them. And all they care about is a king me. They want to win in a conversation. They'll berate the poor little girl at Starbucks. They are just that kind of person. They just want to win everything right now. It's a very instant type attitude that I'm going to win in this situation. I'm going to win on this job site. I'm going to win in this argument. I've got to win in this negotiation. They're never willing to compromise, and they might end up with 3 king me's. But listen to me, you can have 3 king me's and still lose the game. You need to be playing chess in business. You need to be playing chess in your industry, meaning that you're thinking about the long-term move and really thinking about what you do before you do it. I want you to start running your business today of the business that you want to have 2 years from now. So if you don't want to work on Saturdays 2 years from now, if you're the full owner, I understand if you're working for somebody else and yourself right now, you have to work on Saturdays. But if you want to build a company and you're the full-time owner and you don't want to work on Saturdays 2 years from now, stop working on Saturdays today. I made that mistake early on in business when we first started becoming very successful and people were beating down the door, is I would literally say on Wednesday, I'll sell my Saturday to the highest bidder. And that might sound bad, but it's not. Listen to me. The person who had the highest paying job bought my Saturday. but everybody else got served afterwards, right? And if there were emergencies or something I had to do, of course, I would work a Saturday. But the whole point of that is I thought of selling my Saturdays, but how many things did I miss with the kids? How many things did I miss with the wife that I could have settled on? Don't sell your Saturday. That's checkers. If you want to invest your Saturday, that's playing chess. And that's what I do right now is I invest my Saturdays. It's subtle. I'm still working, but it's got a different mindset to it. Does that make sense? So I want you to start playing chess and thinking long term. And finally, and I touched on it in the previous part, is that you need to choose. You can either choose pride or position. You can't choose both. Of all of these three choices, you have to choose one or the other. Pride in business folds its arms and doesn't help anybody else. Doesn't help the inspectors, doesn't help the supply people, is only a taker, is constantly playing checkers. Constantly. So what you need to do is you need to decide if you're going to be that person or if you're going to choose position. And what that means is there's an old book that says a person's gift will make room for them. Meaning your skills and abilities will make room for you at the supply house, will make room for you down at the building department, will make room for you in your area locally. And when I say room for you, I mean favor and not favors, favor. I don't want any favors from you, but I don't want a hard time when dealing with you. Does that make sense? So what your gifts will do is it will make room for you in these areas. Also, room to serve and love and help on others. And you'll find that the moment you start doing that, people will start doing it to you. And you may not always see that you're doing it, but the private conversation from inspector to inspector turns from this guy or gal is a real jerk to, hey, I saw that they were helping someone at the supply house the other day in the code book. And then you start gaining favor with those around you. So I want you to choose position. I want you to choose to be an asset in your area. And yes, this seems very, it may not make a lot of sense to you right now, but I promise you the benefit on the backside of this process. Remember, it's not in the getting, it's in the becoming. Who you're becoming in this video series is going to be an asset to you personally in your steps forward. In this video series, you're going to learn about the juggling act. If you are the sole owner of the business and the number one in charge, you're the HR department, the estimating department, the project management department. You do the estimates, the takeoff, the receiving, the banking, the taxes, the whole 9 yards. It's very hard. And if you are just juggling, 3 balls is fine. But if you're juggling 12, it can be very difficult. And we're going to teach you how to mitigate that, the stresses and the anxieties. And it's going to lead right into our next point, which we're going to teach you the number one priority that you or someone needs to be focusing on in your business. We're going to learn about self-presentation, how you present yourself in the market to others, and most importantly in this series, how you present yourself to the customer. It's very important. We're going to teach you the key to all estimates. It is the day rate. It's going to be in the next video, video 2. Do not miss it. You cannot succeed without knowing your day rate. We're going to learn how to teach you how to ascertain your hourly rate. We're going to teach you the difference between hourly or bid projects and why you need to favor one over the other. We're going to cover new construction. We're going to cover commercial. And we're going to look at many different ways to look at these. We might only talk about a certain subset of types of estimates, but you can take the framework and apply it to any industry nationwide. If you were to ask me to boil business down to 3 things, this would be my response. It's all about cash flow, people, and estimates. Without people, there are no estimates. There is no cash flow. Without cash flow, I don't even want to show up. Without estimates, proper estimates, you might not have the proper cash flow to properly serve the people, and they may never come back. But the question is which one's most important? We've got cash flow, people, and estimates. I submit to you that it's people. Have you ever had a bad relationship with a vendor or a supplier or somebody down at City Hall where you're trying to get your sign approved or whatever it is? You might be a lone wolf type person, and that's fine and well, but that'll only take you as far as you can go, and you still have customers, officials, and everybody in between. But one thing we can do in business that is an error is we'll confuse importance and priority. Let that sink in for a second. Confusing importance with priority. Yes, people are important. Yes, cash flow is important. But what is my number one priority as the business owner? As the business owner, what is my number one priority? Now that we know that people are the most important, let's learn about the difference between importance and priority. Important is how much you care, priority is how much you focus on it. The most important thing is the people. And listen, if you approach business like a sleazy car salesman, people can see it from a mile away. There's nothing I hate worse in business when I'm dealing with someone else is when they act like I'm stupid, like I don't get what they're doing. People are not stupid. You can't sales trick people. That was in the 40s and 50s. Those days are over. Priority is how much you focus on it. Someone's number one priority needs to be estimates. If you're the only one that does estimates, that's you. The number one priority needs to be ultra high quality estimates on the front end. Because if you do a poor estimate on the front end, you are stressed out the rest of the project. You're pushing your workers harder than they need to be pushed. You're showing stress to the customer because you misquoted it. Slow down and do high quality estimates. I've got buddies of mine that their third most important thing is estimates. They own a couple $100,000 a year company, but they're not laser focused on estimates. You need to be delivering estimates fast, efficiently, and ultra high quality estimates. Did you know that if you deliver a good estimate, you'll have a good job the rest of the time? Because you'll have your confidence there as you're moving. I've delivered a good estimate. They accepted it. I have the proper cash flow to serve the people. I have proper time allotted for my men, so I'm not and women. I'm not stressing them out while they're working. When I'm interacting with the customer, I'm asking if they maybe want to add a few things on the job. Would you like to add some surge protection? Would you like to? I noticed you didn't have, a separate receptacle in your bathroom. You can be focused on that instead of trying to scrape two pennies together to buy a piece of material that you missed on an estimate. So I want you to start shifting these things. They're very subtle, but they're very important. Your number one priority needs to be estimates and payroll and taxes and project management and cleanup. But the number one priority needs to be estimates. Now let's finish this lesson with self-presentation. There are usually two camps when it comes to this, and I'm talking about presenting yourself to the customer when you go. There's the I don't care, and it's this right here. This is pulled from a commercial from the area in the Tri-Cities, Tennessee, where I used to live. And these goofballs show up and say, we're here to fix your heat pump. And they use that commercial for like 20 years. It's a very well-known commercial in our area. It's very important that you present yourself in a way that, for one, the customer feels comfortable in you, and for two, that they feel like you're going to give them what they want. People are looking and are going to choose the person who they feel is the most likely to give them what they want, irregardless of price. I'll tell you a quick story. I went to do an estimate at a customer's house against another one of the electrical contractors who is very well respected in our area. His estimate was $2,500 less. Now, this guy's a good electrician. Likely he was just quoting them less work, but I was giving them what they needed and what they needed to be code minimum for what they were wanting to do. Not saying that he missed something, but maybe he did. The homeowner calls me up. Now, keep in mind, this is only like a $5,600 project, so he was around $2,500, right, or $2,800 or whatever it was. I was $2,500 higher than this person. They call me up and say, Perry, we've looked at both these estimates, and you're $2,500 higher, but we want you to do the job. And they're like, is there anything that we can do? And I was at the point in the career where literally we were turning down about 3/4 of the work that came our way. So I had to be really choosy just to make sure I chose the jobs that I could really deliver the premium product on. And I said, no, there's nothing we can do, but we can take some of the work off the estimate. They said, that's fine. And I said, we're going to take off XYZ. Anyways, long story short, we ended up rock starring the project. I gave them the whole estimate. So they got all of that I quoted for the price I quoted. I was able to do it. We had plenty of time. Ended up working for him for years. He's a famous baseball player, retired, super cool dude. Just love the family. Worked on multiple of their houses. Just ended up being an excellent relationship. But it had nothing to do with the price. It had everything to do with how I presented myself. How I presented myself. Now, there are two camps on presentation. There's these guys in the picture, the I don't care, and then there's the I care too much. I've got all the trucks, all the logos, all the pins. I pull up in a 30 or a $75,000 truck. I've got the thing on. I'm talking down to you. I've got my tablet with me. And none of these things are wrong in themselves, but you might be caring too much. You don't want to be this guy going to an estimate, right? People can smell that, just like I said, like the sleazy car salesman. Don't care too much about it. Don't care too much about it. Listen, you might have the best software, the best tactics, the nicest truck, talk the best tradesman talk, and lose a bid to someone who cares more than you. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People can smell it all over you when you try to wow them with code talk or you try to wow them with this and that. People aren't stupid. Listen to me. You need to care about people. There's not just two roads here. I submit to you that there is a third option, and this is the one that I want you to be looking for. So on the left, we have I don't care. On the right, we have I care too much, but I want you to walk forward from now on. I don't want you to veer to the right or to the left. I want you to be straight ahead. And I want you to know how much it matters. There's I don't care, there's I care too much, and then there's I know how much it matters. I want you to know how much it matters that how you pull up. Listen, if you've only got a Geo Metro car to work out of right now, you make sure that thing's the cleanest Geo Metro on the road and you walk up with the same amount of confidence as when you got the four-door truck. You understand me? You work with what you got until you get it. One of my favorite sayings of mine is you got to grind with what you got until you get it. I love bootstrapping. It's the only way to build a business. Everything that I've built that's been super successful and super long lasting has been built with nothing. Absolutely nothing, one piece at a time. I want you to know how much it matters. If you want to get yourself a little nicer vehicle at first, that's okay. But if not, just work out of what you got. Get yourself some decent looking clothes. Try to match the area that you're in or that you're going to. There's nothing wrong in any area with a good pair of blue jeans and a tucked in shirt. There's nothing wrong with any area with a pair of khakis on and maybe a polo that's not tucked in. You can kind of go right in the middle of the road on that. I want you to know how much it matters. It matters so much how you talk when you're in there, whether you do call them back. I can't tell you how many estimates I got because I was the only one that showed up or I was the only one who returned a phone call. If I pull up to an estimate and there were 4 people there before me or who said they were going to come and didn't show up, guess who's getting the job? I am. I love when they say, I've called 3 people, they all said they'd come, none of them showed up. Like, what kind of chicken with a head cut off business are they running? If I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And let's talk about rapport really quickly, and this is our last point for today. I want to talk to you about how to build rapport very quickly with people that you don't know, because it's all about rapport, how you interact and how they feel with you. One way, if you have a person call you that you've never talked to before, one way to instantly build rapport is to schedule a call back and to call back when you say you're going to call back. Now, if I'm up on a ladder and I want to really give the customer my full attention, I'll say, ma'am, I'm on a ladder right now. I'd love to give you my full attention during this call. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? They'll say, okay, that sounds great. And then I will get off my phone and set an alarm to call them back in 10 minutes. And at 10 minutes exactly, I will call them back. I'm instantly building rapport. So that was step 1. Let me tell you how to build rapport with someone before you ever step foot at their house. I tell them I'll call them back in 10 minutes. I call back in 10 minutes. If I tell them I'm going to call before I come, I call before I come. If I say I'm going to be there in between 8 and 8:30, I show up in between 8 and 8:30. Before I've walked in the door, I've had up to 3 instances where I did what I said I'm going to do with the customer. I'm courteous when I walk in the front door. I care about my self-presentation. I don't show up stinking unless it's just out of my control from work or whatever. I don't show up with a bad attitude. I'm not there telling them what they need or what they want. Now, I do take what they want and I tell them how we're going to make it code compliant, but I'm not there to force them to do something that I want them to do. I'm building rapport with this customer. I'm building this relationship, and when I give them a price of $5,500 and someone else gives them a price of $2,800, they don't snatch the person's estimate up that says 28 and just go with it because it's lower. They want to find out if they can still use me. Does that make sense? I want you to have this mindset right here in this first episode that you're going to fundamentally change how you do all of this. How you look at estimates, how you look at your approach, how you look at people, how you look at other people around you, how you look at yourself, how you build confidence in yourself. I want what you say to be so scary that you got to be careful what you say, because you are going to do what you say you're going to do. This is when you take your business to the next level. This is when you start doing what you say you're going to do, and people start believing in your word, and you start believing in yourself, and you start really making the money and doing the things that you were made and designed to do. This is when you do it, but you've got to decide right now if you're going to do it or if you're just going to say that you're going to do it. I'm going to watch episode 2. I'm going to watch episode 3. I'm going to decide if I'm going to be the cheapest or the best. It's off in the future. You put it off. Stop procrastinating. Stop doing what you've been doing. It's got you where you've got. It's time for you to go to the next level, to the next step. And this is when you decide, I am going to be the best. I am going to play chess, and I am going to choose position over pride. I'm going to fundamentally change who I am because I want more than what I got, and I want a higher ability to serve and love and give than I'm doing right now. I am dissatisfied. I'm content with where I am. I'm going to celebrate my previous wins. I'm going to celebrate who I was. I'm going to celebrate where I'm at. But I want to go to that next level because I was designed to do it. I know that I can. My gifts will make room for me. I will have favor. The next 5 years won't look like the last 5 years because I'm going to do what it takes to get what I want. I am the electrical code coach, and my bargain is that these videos will add value to you, and you will in turn add value to others. This is the end of episode 1 of our estimating masterclass. I want to see you win. And if there's anything I can do to help you do that, you can always email me at electricalcodecoach@gmail.com. Let's get to it.